That's a shame.
It really is.
What's up, people?
Yeah, who are you?
The ball one, the cold one, the one and only John Colorized Lawson. I need my own applause.
Yeah, you definitely do because no one else will do it. Anyway, let me get in my character here. I'm Brent Leary. All right.
Boo.
See, I did that because I got the dramatic lighting, so I needed the dramatic effect to go along with it. So,
Yeah.
but it is Friday afternoon.
Happy
It is
Friday, folks.
it's not bad out there. Weather-wise, we're good.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
Me
Glad to
too.
be doing past the mic. Glad to be wearing my new Vamos Rams hoodie.
Yeah, I wish
Looks
they'd go
wow, that
away.
really looks good.
Yeah, I wish they would go away.
Love the
Vamos.
lighting, the way the lighting is hit, the dark.
Go away,
like
Rams.
I like that.
They bore me.
Vamos. That's what you need to do. Vamos.
That's what they need to do.
All right. Anyway, so what you look like you're like in somebody's hotel room.
Yeah, I'm in my hotel room. There's somebody,
I
in
don't
my
know.
hotel room,
So
So
you're on location or something? Is
I'm
that what's
on
going on?
location at TSP Mastermind event, our October event.
Oh, it's the mind
Fantastic
meld.
day.
All right. The mind meld
Oh, just
event.
an amazing, amazing time.
Oh,
It's been
all right.
insane.
Give us like the high level view. What is this thing? I know you're involved in some. You're a coach of sorts, and you belong to an organization for what is it? TSP, whatever that means.
Traffic, sales, and profits.
You know what? That sounded like Schooly D.
Schooly
TSP.
D, TSP.
You know what that means? People always say, "What the hell does that mean?"
I don't
See,
remember
you
that
could the next time you go on stage
saying.
at the event, you could have your you could have your Schooly D song, and you can come on with that boom,
You
boom.
have to be like 60 years old to remember this
Well, then
song.
you're in good steady because you
Yeah,
absolutely know
well,
it. You
I'm the
qualify.
old guy in the room. I'm the old guy in the room there.
But so, are you like in that setting? I mean, is it mostly young folks involved with this thing?
No, I mean, there's all ages, but I find myself being one of the older people at this point. That's pretty much everywhere I go.
I was
So
going to say you
it's
don't feel
like
right at home.
I do. I'm starting to. I'm starting to feel this. I'm starting to joy in becoming this.
The elder
I don't know.
statesman.
Yeah, a mentor of some sorts. It's
So
starting to feel good.
you're embracing the role.
Yeah, man, come on. I
So
was on
people
the
come to
elevator
you.
too. Literally, I was on the elevator. I walk in to the hotel and they're putting up stickers on the elevator. You know how they brand the doors on the elevator sometimes for the conferences. And I swear, I'm like, I'll be damned. I think that looks like me. So I jump on the other elevator just to get away. You know what I'm saying? And then I come
You
back downstairs. I look and I'm like, I'll be damned. That's me on the elevator.
so you were trying to get
So
away from yourself, basically. Is that what
yeah,
was
I
going on?
didn't want to have this little, you know what I'm saying, where it's like there's people putting it up. I didn't want to have this thing where I had to
You
acknowledge, oh
didn't
yeah, that's me, that kind of
really. You didn't. Why didn't you want to do that?
vibe. I mean, why? I don't.
That seems
It's
like
just
that would be
a
something
little.
you'd
I
be
was
all.
not prepared.
Oh, okay.
I,
But if you were prepared, you would have embraced
yes,
it.
I would have
Okay.
just, went along with the glad handing and oh my god,
Oh, the
but
glad
I wasn't
handing.
all
There was
that.
some. You had to do some glad handing.
That's the words I would use, my friend.
Were you kissing babies too, or were you
I've
know?
kissed a few babies this weekend in the whole nine. I'm ready to run. Oh my God. See how you just did that? See how you just did that? That's like if I'd
Yeah,
have known it
because
was coming.
look. You said you were running away from it. It is funny. how somebody took a picture and posted it under your profile. So I'm just saying, you didn't run far. That's all I'm saying.
I love it. I love it. It's like my big head on the elevator.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
awesome.
how many elevators were you on, or was it on just that one?
Just that one. There's three of them, and I think one of them says mindset, strategy, and execution. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Those wouldn't have been the words I would have chosen, but that's okay. I get
You
it.
know what?
I understand.
Whatever.
I'm curious though, how many people were at this thing? Was Shay one of our favorites? Was Shay at this
She
thing?
was. She was
Oh,
there. And what did she say? What did she say to me? I cannot remember. Oh yeah, she's like, "What's up, fellow mind melder?" Yeah, she did. She's here. She's
I like
here.
that.
So, but this is members only. Like the last one we did in
Like the
July.
jackets.
Yeah, right. The last one we did in June, rather. That's
Okay.
open to the public, so that's like 1,000 people plus. This one's smaller. It's like 350 people, which are just people that are, this is internal only, family
Oh,
only.
I
Yeah,
got
it's
you.
been awesome. Hmm.
Well, that's
And then
cool. All
last
right.
night, let me just tell you this. Last night they rented out the entire main event. You ever been to a main event spot? It's
No.
it's 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 the old like Dave and Buster's format with
Oh,
bowling
okay, I got you.
alleys.
All
But they
right.
rented that whole thing out, man, and it was amazing because we got to play all the games for free, which are
Okay.
games that I would never pay for. You know,
Damn.
I mean, it's amazing the stuff. I don't know. I mean, I haven't really done enough virtual reality video gaming, and to do
Okay.
that on that scale was pretty intense. It's pretty
Oh,
intense.
okay. Hey, look
You
who's
gotta.
back.
Hey, what's up, cousin Gar?
The prodigal cousin has returned. Gar is back in the house. Good to see you, Gar.
Oh, then this all good now
Yeah, it's been a while.
with
Okay,
Gar
so
back. I mean, dang,
I mean, that. But it's been a lot of stuff happened this week. But before we get
a lot of
fully
stuff.
into it, let's. There's a couple of things. Some anniversaries of import.
Uh-oh.
50 years ago, Stevie Wonder released Talking Book. 50 years, and that was the beginning of one of the most unparalleled streaks of releasing just brilliant albums year after year after year. Talking Book, fulfilling his first finale, Music of My Mind, Songs of the Key of Life. It all started with Talking Book in 1972.
That's crazy. 50 years.
50 years. So you were you were already in high school by then. So what was it like listening?
What a dipshit. No, no, no.
50 years. That's a pretty amazing.
It's incomprehensible. I
It
can't,
really is. But like I said, do you realize Stevie was only like 21 or 22 when he released this album?
Yeah, yeah, I could
And
see
like I
that.
said, the music of this wasn't like a one or two good song album. Like I said,
These were just masterpieces.
you think about Talking Book, fulfilling his first finale, Music of My Mind, Songs of the Key of Life. Like rapid fire, back to back to back to back. Does anybody do that anymore? Does anybody actually release fully thought out, brilliant albums year after year? The only person that I can go to and say that rivals that and maybe even surpass, well, for me it does, is somebody else, but
Beyonce. Beyonce, of course.
not even close. Come on. I couldn't name 5 of her albums.
That's only because you haven't listened to them. That doesn't mean that they don't exist and they aren't great.
They're not that. I'm sure they're catchy, they're fun and all that. They nice to dance to.
Catchy and fun.
but they're not something that makes you just sit and think. And I'm saying, I'm sure it's nice to dance, but we're talking Stevie Wonder. And the other one that we're talking, and I know I'll get no argument from you on this one if I can find it, is why am I not able to change this? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing here.
Look at you.
The other
Look at
person.
you.
So what's going on? My computer like froze up on me. What is going on? Oh, you know what? It did something very weird.
Did it reboot?
It's doing something I have never. I've got a big screen and I got my laptop. And apparently, somehow via Bluetooth, all of a sudden I started controlling. I'm doing the mouse pad on my MacBook Pro, but I'm moving it on the screen, and they're not connected. I've never seen that before. That's why I was freaking out. But this is what I was trying to get to. It's been 40 years. Can you believe this? 40 years since 1999. Your thoughts?
God, I'm just so old. I can't even. Wow. But all I know is, man, sitting in, basically in my bedroom at the time, playing this album, freaking out off of the eyeball staring at me, but loving every track. I'm like, okay, there's got to be a skippable track on here. And there was not one. Insane. A double album.
Let's first of all, let's acknowledge Lisa Childs.
Hey, Lisa, what's up? That's my other cousin.
That's your cousin. Okay.
Cousin.
You got, so it is a full family show going on.
Family day.
Yeah. Nice to see you.
Thank you, family, for supporting the fam here.
Yeah. So let me just, as I was saying with Stevie Wonder, with
Prince.
Talking Book, fulfilling his first finale, Music of My Mind, Songs of the Key of Life. You can throw in a musical aquarium, but that was a couple of years down the road. Just think about this run. I'm not gonna start with For You, because that had just really one good song. So we'll just start with 1979 in the.
Did you say one good song?
Soft and Wet.
I'm
talking about one song that really moved the needle.
Okay. All right.
But 1979, the self-titled Prince album. We all know there's about 5 or 6 songs off of that. Dirty Minds. That's 1980. Controversy. 1981. 1999, a double CD, a double album. So that's 82, 80, moving into 83. Of course, Purple Rain, Around the World in a Day, Parade, Sign of the Times. And I'm going to throw Love Sexy in there too. And you could probably throw the Batman soundtrack in there too. That's like 10 straight years of albums of just nonstop. And I'm not even mentioning the Vanity
other albums,
the time, the songs that he was writing for other folks.
Madhouse.
So the Madhouse, absolutely. So there's
nothing that
parallels that.
Sheila
so you think
E.
It's stupid. Sinead O'Connor sings, Nothing Compares to You, which of course he wrote. It's just ridiculous. So there's nothing that compares to that. But you look at what Stevie did 50 years ago and what Prince did 40 years ago. There's nothing that's going on right now that even comes close to that kind of stuff.
Nah, I mean, music has changed so much, and artistry, and the outlet has changed so much. I mean, it's just, you just can't do that anymore.
Nah. By the way, your cousin is saying that you met Bay's dad, so that's.
Yes, ma'am.
You got to put that out there.
I meant Beyonce daddy. So yeah. Oh, that's right.
Wait a minute. What? He wrote that? I didn't know that. He wrote Fortunate, because I love that.
I gotta see that. I gotta check that right now.
You please do, because if he wrote that. Wow, I had no idea he wrote that.
I had no idea he wrote that.
Because I love Maxwell and I love that song. But if Prince wrote that, damn. That makes it
That's that.
even. Wow.
That would be
She's saying
crazy if
yes.
that's the truth.
She's saying
Okay.
yes. I mean,
I just need
I'm gonna look that
confirmation.
up. Wow.
No, that's not who wrote that.
That's what
That
if he
song was
wrote that.
written, composed, and arranged by another great person that actually put out multiple albums, hit after hit after hit after hit, Mr. R. Kelly.
Now, see,
So
that
that was actually
sounds
fortunate. Yeah. Now that you listen to it, it's like, oh, that's
it
R.
sounds
Kelly. Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
groove was an R. Kelly groove. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
your cousin is saying nope. She's not buying it. I
Well,
think we got.
I'm looking at Wikipedia and it says written by R. Kelly now. Yeah, I
Well,
mean, you could say,
it sounds like an
oh,
R. Kelly song.
it
To me,
does
it
to
does.
me. Yeah.
But
It would have
well,
been
maybe
a,
we got a family feud going. That's fine with
yeah.
me. 'Cause
I'll go with Prince for now. I'll go with Wikipedia for now.
just to keep the peace, you go with Prince just to keep the peace. Is that what's going on here?
I get, but it says, yeah, it's you know,
It sounds like a
no,
R.
no,
Kelly song.
it's definitely an R. Kelly song because it was
Yeah.
actually awarded the best R&B song for that year, and if it was Prince, it would definitely
No,
you
I
would
would have
know that.
known. I'm sorry, cousin Lisa. I'm gonna have to go with Wikipedia on this one because it does
Yeah,
sound like an R. Kelly song to me. And let's face it, the lyrics weren't all that deep. And that's
well,
another reason
yeah.
why I don't think it was Prince. So I'm going with the R. Kelly. Sorry, cousin Lisa. It is what it
Mm,
is.
mm.
I still love Maxwell though. It's still a good song. All right.
That was his first number one. Anyway, all right,
All right, so I think
Maxwell's.
we got that out of the way. That's some good
That's
stuff, though.
awesome. All right,
All right, one other quick
let's
thing
get
to just
in. Let's
add
get in.
around. Your boy is back on
Oh,
Twitter.
well, yeah, great. Great, great, great. I don't know where I'm at. I'm just, it's unfortunate, this whole situation.
Did R. Kelly write "Unfortunate" for Maxwell? Because we could play it right now.
Oh my
Because this is
God.
unfortunate to see this guy anywhere near a mass ability to reach multitudes again.
Hmm.
Let him stay on Parlor, where I have absolutely no connections, and I don't have to see any of that nonsense.
Yeah, maybe he will clean it up a little bit.
Oh,
I
he's
doubt it.
not. He's
I
not
doubt it.
unless he's on his meds. Maybe.
Maybe he'll take his meds.
I wish somebody would force feed him that stuff because it's.
Yeah.
Sorry for all you all out there who say he's a genius. This is what you get.
But you know what? A lot of geniuses were crazy.
Well, yeah, that's true. But
I
he
mean, a
ain't one of
lot
them.
of geniuses are crazy.
He is not one of them. But he's a smart dude. He got a lot of money. I give him that.
He's back on Twitter, folks. Yay! There's a
Yeah,
reason
that's
to
great.
tune into Twitter.
And it's just a matter of time before you know who is back on too.
I told you why he was buying Twitter. Here we go.
No,
Let's go.
So you're literally saying that he spent $44 billion just to put his boy back on Twitter?
What else did he buy it for? What else did he buy it for?
Not for that.
What else did he buy it for?
Why would he spend $44 billion just to put that guy back on Twitter? That's just stupid.
Okay. Here it comes.
You lose your genius status if that's the reason why you buy Twitter. That's all I'm saying.
Here we go. I'm counting down, bro. Counting down.
He's coming back. And it'll be like, I'm surprised he hasn't done it already. Yeah. I am surprised he hasn't done it already. Oh, okay. So we've got a retraction, I think. I apologize. I meant R. Kelly wrote "Fortunate."
Okay.
I found out when they was doing the shaky.
Okay.
Who's doing the shaky leg? I
don't know. See, she believes it too.
You guys are crazy. I'm sorry. The Lawson clan, y'all are nuts. If you think a dude spent $44 billion just so he could put some clown back on Twitter again? What's the amount of
already put one clown back on Twitter?
Yeah, but what amount of satisfaction?
He's gonna get two for the price of one.
How long will you be happy by spending $44 billion just to put some idiots back on?
I mean,
Come
Whatever.
on.
We'll see. We'll
The
see.
dude is smarter than that. He's got other.
Yeah.
He's got to have more plans than that.
All right. We'll
Just
see.
saying.
Well, like I
That's just
said, he's putting it out there so that he could help usher him into office and then get favors out of him for being in office. So $44 billion to buy a president is probably kind of cheap,
yeah. Well, we'll see about
considering
that.
that the value of the entity will
Wait a
probably
minute.
go up over
Wait a minute.
time.
The dude is already the richest man in the world.
Rich
He's
people, look, let me
he's
tell you
done
something.
pretty good already.
I'm just going to tell you something. There is a level of greed in people that never gets satiated or satisfied.
So you're going to spend 44. What's the return on investment going to be for 44
Power.
billion?
Power.
He already had power. He had
He
power.
ain't got
and
it. He ain't going to have as
$44
much
billion
power as
more.
he's about to have.
Oh, please. This is I don't know what the real reasons are, but I know it ain't just for that. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. You come up with a better one and I'll listen to it.
I will, but that ain't it.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
we know.
You know.
Oh, of course you're going to agree with your cousin, Lisa. What? What was that? A news flash? I agree with John. Yeah, I stand with John. All right.
It's
The
coming, bro.
Lawson clan is a thick, mighty thick clan. They stick to each other. He can be rich, but they want more. He didn't have to spend 44 billion to get more power. Let's put it like that. I'm just saying. Anyway, let's move on. Because and then this your boy, the Zucker. What did they lost what 24%? They are down 70% from their all-time high. I think it said the stock hasn't been as low as this for like since 2016. And he's still doubling down. He's doubling down on the metaverse. He's banking $15 billion on the metaverse. And the real world doesn't seem to want to go along with it. But this is the thing I thought ironic. There's a company that I follow as part of my industry called ServiceNow. They are killing it. They were up 13% after they released their results yesterday. They're a company that's nowhere near as big as Facebook, but they are killing it. They're like $6 billion run rate. And they say, the CEO of that company, which also used to be the CEO of SAP, they say they are bullish on Zuck's vision of the metaverse. So why is it that Zuck's stock went kaput for doubling down? And a company that is killing it, they say, you know what? We think Zuck is on to something. And they got rewarded, or at least they didn't get punished. So what's the deal with this? What do you think of Zuck's kind of all in on metaverse, putting all the chips into the corner, going for it all, saying it's all or nothing on the metaverse, and the market saying this dude is crazy? But some other guy who is doing really good saying, you know what, I think Zuck is right, and he's got to get rewarded for it. So where are you with the metaverse and with Zuck?
I don't know. I mean, I think Zuck is having the biggest problems just because nobody likes his version of the metaverse.
He's getting
You know,
clowned.
I don't think this has a whole lot to say about the metaverse. I just think it has more to say about Meta itself and their play out here. It's just not working. You know,
he's getting clowned on his version of the metaverse for some reason. Like even the CEO of Snap, did you see what he said? Something like,
no, what he say? What
he
I
said
didn't see
something
it.
like, I can't. I would. The last thing I want to do after a hard day of work is come home and get on that. Something like that. I'm like, wow, this is like,
wow, exactly. That's the problem. It's not that the idea; it's just their version of the metaverse. Nobody's all into, you know, and nobody needs a 3D version of platform you're not really using that much anymore.
Well, cousin Lisa says Zuck is stupid. I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going that far, but I don't know. The doubling down, it may cost him. You know what?
He has to do. What else is he going to do? What if Zuck came out and said, you know what? We're not this is not doing so well. We're going to shift. It would be more than 70% loss.
So let me ask you this: Is Facebook in trouble, or Meta, or whatever you want to call it? Are they in real trouble?
I think Meta is no. I don't think they're in real trouble. But I think they are having a come to Jesus moment. They really need to be. If they're not right now, they need to be. They've got to figure this thing out if this is where you're going to go, but nobody's following you, nobody's using it. There's no real reason to be there. I mean, there's a problem. I don't know.
Well, one of the problems is let me go to this. I think there's a myriad of problems where, here's what I was going for. Their bread and butter is digital ads, of course. They got the biggest platform. What are they? Them and Google still, I forget who's number one and who's number two, but by far they're still the top two. But Amazon seems to be making inroads.
Encroaching and coming up.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're going to have a great fourth quarter in terms of ad revenue spend, but I don't know if that's not the problem that Zuckerberg's having. I don't think Zuckerberg's problem is Amazon's ad revenue growth.
Is it more Apple?
No, it's fucking metaverse.
It's what?
It's his metaverse.
So you think he's making the right bet? It's just the way that he's going about it is wrong, or what?
I think that he feels that Facebook is going to bring the metaverse to the public, and I think he's wrong in that assumption. It was almost, I think it's very similar, going way back to AOL bringing the internet to the people. So you remember how AOL thought that they were going to control all of the internet through America Online, right? I think it's very similar to that. I got to think on this a little bit deeper, but that's kind of the vision I'm feeling right now. And it's just not going to work because I don't need even back then in AOL, you remember, right? You didn't need AOL to get on the internet, right? But AOL had spent so much marketing money sending out the CDs to everybody that it got people on the internet. But once they got on the internet, they realized, hell, I got to leave AOL to get to the real stuff that I wanted. Then at some point, we had gotten introduced to it, and then we didn't need it anymore.
Say hello to Wayne Shelley here.
What's up, Wayne?
You know Wayne?
I know Wayne.
That's one of your guys?
He's from Australia.
Oh, okay. Amazon is all as spend. Amazon is all
ad spend on selling products.
Oh, ad spend.
That's what I think he's saying.
On selling product. Meta and Google cover service industries as well. Amazon will never get the same as revenue, even close to those guys.
Okay. There's a piece to that.
I'm more in line with that line of thinking when it comes to Google than I am when it comes to Facebook.
Yeah, me too. Well, though, I mean, you still can do services and service ads on Facebook.
Yeah, that's true, but
it ain't.
Not quite the same. All right, let's move to.
I like that. That's a good one, Wayne.
Let's move to some earnings that came out and moved the market.
All right.
Rather dramatically this week. So we are looking at Amazon's third quarter results. As you can see, net sales. Now this is for everything. Net sales up 15% year over year, which on the face of it is not bad, but apparently it was not what expectations were set for. And part of the reason why the stock got crushed yesterday. Are you
Yeah.
surprised?
No, I mean, like us. See, here's the deal. Now we understand, right, why we didn't hear a whole lot of hoopla around the numbers for Prime Day
Prime
2.
Day?
Yep. Because if those numbers had been hyped and then they still missed the street numbers, it would have been a problem, right? That would have been a real big problem.
Yeah.
Now that the numbers are low and they miss some of the street expectations, what are we going to do?
All right. So from Market Pulse, now this is something
I
we've been
love
talking
this.
about
This
all
is
along.
great.
Yeah. This. So look at so there's a COVID bump, and for the last 2 years, when the shutdown happened and people couldn't get out to do anything, including shop, of course it was it's I don't know if it's unnatural, but the acceleration of the revenues for everything e-commerce, it just went up because you couldn't do physical shopping, right? But we all knew, we all should have known that at some point people will be able to get out, walk around, go to stores, buy stuff in stores, that was going to impact the acceleration.
People did not know that.
Why didn't people not know that?
Well, for one, we had, you have to think of it. We didn't know how long this was going to last.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Right. So, I mean, you look at in the middle of, let's say, Q2 2020, the acceleration is starting to move. Q3 really move. And then, Q4, honestly, I think that's when people are like, okay, this is not going to last forever. And I think that's when the reality of, okay, people are wanting to get out and do things back in the shopping phase. And I just think there was not enough innovation during that 1 year period to hold the bump.
Well, I love this graphic from Market Pulse because they put in the actual line, and then they put in what the
normal.
What the level of increase that was taking place before all the COVID stuff broke out.
Right.
And then so what's happened is they are meeting. If COVID hadn't happened, it would be right where we are today with the increases compared to the COVID bump. So we're back. Now the key will be what takes place in Q4 to see if now that starts to cross back under, or does it just start going in the same direction all the time? And that's not just Amazon. Look at Shopify. Now, Shopify immediately, so their growth rate was faster because they're smaller, but they too had the COVID bump, and it looks like the COVID bump ending and what would have been the traditional level of increase are absolutely meeting right now. So is this all about nothing, or
hold on. I mean, but see, this one I think is a little bit different than the Amazon one. This one has an uptick, even though it's not a hockey stick uptick, it's got an abnormal uptick to get to where it is. So it seems to me almost that Shopify's growth has actually accelerated due to the COVID bump. Even if you take the COVID bump out of, you know what I'm saying?
But look what's happening at the top. It's leveled off. It's peaked.
It's flattening. Yes.
Right.
It's flattening. But I'm saying it feels to me like they've held on more to some of their bump than Amazon did.
It might have
Amazon
been, but
just kind of came back Uh,
But remember, Shopify's growth rate was faster than Amazon's growth rate, and they're smaller. So that's going to
yeah,
immediately make that art that that shape. Whereas each of them are seeing the level off effect of the COVID bump right at the same point of where they would have been if there was no COVID bump. It was just a steady growth rate.
right. You talking about Amazon?
I'm talking about both of them. Look, so here's
No, but
Shopify.
that's
See
what
where
I'm saying. The Shopify's line is still going up in terms of growth on the last four, quarters. That is an increase that was not the same as the first four quarters. You see what I was? Yeah, you see how flat this line is,
yeah, but they're still
but this
meeting.
line is still curving up.
But that's to be expected because Shopify's growth rate was still higher than Amazon's growth rate.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
But they're still
Shopify. I don't
meeting.
think.
They're both still meeting at the same point. With the COVID bump and their growth rate would have been without the COVID bump. They're still both meeting at that point right now.
Well, that's they drew the graph to make it that way. That
Well,
gray stuff is.
I don't know about that. Well, the gray stuff is if they had gone on the growth rate that they
But they
had up
didn't.
until the pandemic. But
But they
but the
didn't,
growth,
and they had to make that up. That's ficticious.
but what they're doing that to show the difference between what actually happened with the COVID bump and what would have
Right.
happened if they had just grown
That's
without COVID.
fictitious.
Of course, it's fictitious, but it's what the historical record gives you
But
to go on.
that's what I'm trying to say, Brent, is that this historical record of growth over those 8, quarters or whatever is not the same rate of growth that was the preceding 15 quarters where Amazon's was.
But what I guess I'm
If
saying
you
is
take a ruler and put it at the first, quarter 2022 and draw it all the way out to the end of 2023, quarter 3, right? The Amazon line is almost flat. It is actually the growth that was happening. If you do the same thing when they do the same thing on the Shopify, it's a curve.
These growth, they're attacking the same time frames. They're starting at the same place and ending
You're
at the
not
same place.
understanding. If I could
I'm
write it on here,
understanding
you'd get it.
fine. I'm
But I don't
understanding
think you're
fine. I don't
understanding
think
it.
you're understanding. That's the problem. But
Brent.
that's all right. That's all right.
Okay.
Let's move on because we spent way too much time on this.
Well, okay, but anyway.
And let's just say hello to is this your boy Eric Winchester?
I know Eric.
Thank you, Eric. Yes,
I don't think we know
I'm
each
working
other,
on
but
that lighting.
we in the metasphere.
Oh God. Anyway. All right. So let's get back to some of the numbers. Is this it? All right. So yeah. So they still all right. Net income down year over year 9%. But they're still making money. So it's it is what it is.
It's
Now.
wow.
Trailing 12 months. So they're still bringing in almost 12 billion in actual net income.
Bro, these are horrible.
They're not horrible. You know what horrible would be if it was a negative number. But it's what about 60% off, 57% down. So they're still making money. The problem is they're not making as much as they were last year compared to last year. I totally get that. But then again, I don't think anybody is, with the exception of maybe, I don't know, Apple is probably pretty close to it. Now here we go with the breakdown. North America up 20% net sales. Operating income, whoa, negative. Now that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's not good.
But I mean, again, we've talked about this the net sales going up being partially just because of the price increase of products in general, So
might be, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think that's necessarily helping them on the operating income side. So they're still hurting.
Yeah, well, the bottom line is they lost money in North America, point blank, this particular quarter. So that ain't good.
Are they charging off anything? Did they say they were charging off any
Didn't
warehousing?
get into. I didn't check out the actual earnings call. Just grab the presentation. This is the one I wanted to get into. So now we're just looking at AWS. AWS net sales 27% year over year. But as good as that sounds, it was a disappointment apparently to the financial community because it had been up year over year over 30% like forever. And operating income was only up 1%.
And what had that been prior? Do you know?
Well, I don't know exactly, but I know it's significant.
I've just never seen a single digit on an Amazon report in my life.
Well, that's AWS. Well, you know, the interesting thing is when Microsoft's results came out and everybody wants to look at how Azure is doing, I think Azure had slowed as well. So it's not just an Amazon issue.
I
This
can
is
see that.
Yeah, it's definitely
an industry.
Now, ironically, Google's revenue numbers for the Google Cloud actually went up, but they're so far behind the other two. It was like a blip.
Yeah.
But these two, the AWS and Azure, are the ones that everybody wants to see how they do to get a kind of an indication on how the internet, how the cloud, revenue speaking, is performing. So it's not necessarily a mixed message. It's just not as high as it had been, which, you know, raises flags for the financial community. All right. I think we already saw this stuff. So
insanity.
Insanity. All right.
I feel like I've gone to a funeral or something.
But here's the interesting thing. So we just went through all that, right?
Yeah.
GDP numbers came out this week. It was up 2.6 this quarter.
Yeah.
After being down the previous 2 quarters, negative numbers. People are still hiring folks. So you've got Apple did a pretty good job with their earnings. They as you saw, the market was up 750 points last time I saw it today. So you've got all these mixed messages. Inflation is still not going anywhere, but unemployment is still very low. You've got some of these companies like Amazon getting killed, Meta getting killed, but Apple is raising the market today. Are we heading to a recession or not?
Yes.
I asked this every week.
God, why do you keep asking the same question?
Because there's so many mixed messages.
No, there's not.
You don't expect the GDP to go up 2.6% for a quarter and that usually signals you're not going into a recession. But all the CEOs, all these big companies are battening down the hatches. They're telling you it's going to get, messy. It's going to be tough. People are able to still find work, but they're paying more for their groceries. The housing market is just, because of the interest rates have gone completely, to hell, basically. But yet and still, people are able to find work.
Okay.
So
that won't last forever. Not if we're in a recession. Let's put it like that.
Are we in the metaverse in terms of we have entered a new way of looking at the economy? Do the old definitions apply?
I don't think the old definitions apply, simply because, hey, we went through COVID for 2 years. I mean, it's just, this is a different economy, man. It's a different economy.
So if it's a different economy, does that
mean the signals are different?
But so what are these different signals signaling? I mean, I have no idea what these signals mean.
People still have too much money. That's what the signals are. People have so much money that they're still spending, even though prices are higher. But at some point, we're going to get to the point where they're actually tapping into savings to maintain everyday life. And that will be the recession.
Here's the thing. Traditionally speaking, yeah, I totally get that. But it feels to me like the unemployment number is at like 3.5 or 3.6. But is that including people like that are making this the money off of YouTube and
I have
creator
no idea.
stuff?
I don't know if the economy numbers really take into account the gig economy or how it,
Well,
you
because
know,
just think about it. Let's say that it's not.
okay.
That right now, all the numbers that are given to us are the traditional numbers and they are being measured in their traditional fashion. So it's completely not taking into consideration all these other ways that people are generating income. If it's not taking that into consideration and these people are making money and it's not being included in these numbers that we are so used to, why do we think that the recession is on our doorstep if there's this pot of money, this dark money, for lack of a better way of putting it,
Yeah.
is out there just running amok? People are making it and they're moving it around. They're
No,
buying
that's not
stuff.
what's happening. That's
What's
now
happening?
I just did. That's not
What's
what's
happening?
happening. What is happening is this dark money that was running around in the metaverse, in Bitcoin, in what are those things? NPG. I can't. My brain's not
Oh,
working.
NFTs.
NFTs, right? Just think about the billions of dollars people actually lost that was invested in those things, right? But we're not taking into account those losses at this point, right? But at the same time, people that were running around spending that stupid money, the FU money they were making, they're not spending it anymore because they don't have it. So maybe corporate is feeling some of that, which has been taken out of the market for now. But the average, everyday Joe guy, he wasn't playing that game anyway.
Hmm.
So now they
We
can't
were,
figure out exactly. It's like, where'd all the money go? It kind of evaporated, bro. But
you know, we have this convergence of things going on because maybe the pandemic kickstarted a bunch of this stuff, but it feels like there's more than just that. Maybe the pandemic kicked off all, the work from home, of course, the more e-commerce, more people finding ways to make money without leaving the home in a much less traditional sense. And because the nature of the economy is changing, the way that it's being measured is, the traditional ways of measuring it
not
and the
keeping up.
traditional ways of us being able to kind of say, oh, if this happens, oh yeah, then that's going to happen, is completely being reconfigured somehow.
Yeah, not keeping up. They're yeah, I think so. Absolutely. All these things, bro. All these
One other
things.
thing to put out there too. Remember how it was just a quarter ago when we were killing Netflix. They were losing
Oh,
subscribers. People were
yeah,
like
they're
just
dying.
killing them.
Yes.
Now, just a quarter later, they got 2 more million subscribers than they did the previous year, a quarter. And now,
Hmm.
everybody's like, "Oh man, they're back." I mean, when companies can make that dramatic a change from one quarter to the next, that wasn't happening
That
years
that
ago
that would never happen to Ford years ago.
because it was all physical based. You couldn't do those things. Ford couldn't
Yeah.
change on the drop of a hat from one quarter to the next. Like Netflix,
Yeah.
like, all right, we're going to add an advertising layer and we're going to do that. And they can roll those suckers out and see immediate impact from one quarter to the next. They can go from a dog to like a
I mean,
stallion.
hey, they
That's amazing.
had. I mean, another thing is too. I mean, they had a big blockbuster movie series. I mean, Dahmer was pretty huge.
Was it
So
that big? I
it seemed to have been,
you know what? You make a
maybe
great
it
point.
added more.
So that is so many interesting new business levers that these companies are able to push. It was a big thing in the out there that Disney Plus got the rights for the next version of the Doctor Who series, the next Doctor Who series. That is going to be huge for Disney Plus because
Well,
there
this
are,
goes back to what we were talking about
yeah.
a
I
couple of
mean,
episodes ago. You was talking about that.
yeah. So these new media companies like or these new digital native companies like a Netflix can be on the ropes one quarter, and
And come
because they
out.
have this huge customer subscriber base, they can figure out, try new ways to entice them, and next thing you know, they've gone from losing 200,000 subscribers quarter two to bringing in 2 million subscribers quarter three.
Well,
It's
people,
it's
hey, the
it's astounding.
subscription-based business works.
It works, and that's why you can never count out certain companies that have these huge customer or subscription
No,
bases. You can't count
no,
out Meta. No matter how much fun you make
right.
them, you can't count them out. They've got
Not,
Instagram, they got WhatsApp, and they've got their flagship. You know
yep.
how many people every day are on either one of those platforms?
Millions and millions, millions
Millions and
and
millions.
millions.
Google. Oh my God. YouTube is just a machine, let alone all the other stuff. Just YouTube. You know, and one thing I'll say before we head out, I think everybody should check out this documentary on PBS about TikTok. Fascinating. Oh my
Oh,
God. It
really?
it really opened my eyes to what, you
Dude,
know,
I just came out of a TikTok training today. That was amazing.
you should tell
Gotta
everybody that was in
throw
that
that
to
out
watch
there.
that thing because
Okay, I will.
TikTok is it is so different from these other social media platforms
Yep, yep, yep.
in
That's
a
one thing she was pointing out,
yeah.
how different they are. You know, although I want to see this. Do you feel like their their origin story is all that much different than a Facebook or a Twitter?
Yeah, I do because the Chinese government is involved.
Well, yeah, that's
That's that's a whole other element, man.
because one thing I really like what she was saying, because somebody asked her, was like, well, well, when would TikTok not give you these audiences? She's like, I'm not one of these people, and I love her answer. She's like, I'm not one of these people that's going to tell you, well, this is how long, or you should jump on, or you should not jump on. She's like, I don't know, but they're doing it right now. You should get on there right now, right? Because you never know when it might flip over to more, not so much about engagement, but more about charging you to get to that audience. But whatever time frame that happens, being on now is going to always help you, right? And then the last thing is that I want to put out there, if you guys are thinking about TikTok, because this is like blew my mind. And she was saying, hey, that you have to understand that all the other social networks are trying to create a TikTok. They already have a TikTok in YouTube. They already have a YouTube one in Instagram with the reels, Facebook with the reels. So no matter what strategy you learn from TikTok, you can overlay it on the other platforms. That is value add right there.
Yeah, well, I would suggest, just for folks to kind of look at TikTok as I call it an attention marketplace. It's almost, I look at it almost equivalent to what Amazon has done with actual marketplaces, digital marketplace for people to buy stuff. TikTok is an attention marketplace. So they're not going to let you control their marketplace. They have built it specifically for their control, for their algorithms to say who sees what. And you come on to TikTok, you got, unfortunately, or fortunately, unfortunately, the good thing is you come on to TikTok, there's 2 billion people that are on there monthly. The bad thing is you're going to be treated kind of like a Groupon, where you'll get access to that audience because they'll give it to you, but they will never let you build upon that initial contact. You will always be at their mercy if you plan to play on the TikTok game. They will not let you transfer that relationship off of their property.
What platform does?
Oh, YouTube allows you to create all sorts of you could create a community on YouTube. You could share share the information
on YouTube. It's still on
nah,
YouTube.
but you could transfer it off because you could go to my Patreon. You don't have a real chance to do any transferal on TikTok.
You do.
That's why Jeb says, "Hey, look, I use TikTok to create create new fans, but I try to engage my fans on YouTube because there's more tools to use."
Well, yeah, I mean, look, bro. I mean, all you got to do is get people to subscribe to something. Wherever your channel is, where you really get deep with those people, you have to just drive them to that channel.
Yeah, well, you can't get deep with these people on YouTube. On TikTok. That's the issue. TikTok is like, hey, we'll give you access to our community. We'll shine the light on you if we want to shine the light on you with our algorithm. But you can't say, hey, come look at me.
Well, I mean,
you don't have the right to do that.
Well, you do. You have that with lives. On TikTok Live, your people that follow you will get notified.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're rolling that out because they're getting a lot of flack. And the other component. Check out the documentary. If you could have millions of followers, if you say something that the Chinese government is not cool with,
they could cut you off.
You will go from millions of views for your videos to 0, and they showed it.
Welcome to China, baby.
That's what I'm saying. So there's a lot of positives with TikTok. There's a lot of negatives with that.
You just got to stay. You got to stay in the right lane on that, because the Chinese do not play, man.
Nah, they will. I mean, and there are people
time for you making fun of their peoples.
Then people are like, look, there's a dude, because I don't know anybody except for that Cabby Lame dude, because he has so many followers. There's some dude, some young guy. I think he said he has 55 million followers. And for lack of a better way of putting it, all this guy does is beatbox. But he's been able to amass 55 million followers, start getting brand deals, but he said he was afraid he was going to get cut off for something. Because and then they showed this one young lady who she did something. She had this huge following. She said something that the Chinese government did not appreciate it. She went from all these views to 0 views.
And it's on PBS.
You got to check this thing out. It's called TikTok Bomb or something like that. TikTok Bang or TikTok Bomb or something like that. Check it out. If you're really into TikTok, check it out. It was an eye opener. And
man. I mean, for sure.
All right, this has been a good one. We covered a lot of ground. Eric says my lighting is epic, so I'm good.
He said your lighting is epic.
Epic. Lisa,
I think it is a little. I think it's a little ugly.
Jealousy is such an ugly thing, folks. I tell you.
Whatever.
Such an ugly thing. Anyway, so when is the conference in?
This is the last day. So all we got tonight is we're going to go out and do some karaoke, and then I get to go home tomorrow. So there you go.
Wow. And this is mostly like a black audience?
All black.
Oh, these are Negroes going out for karaoke.
ABE, brother. You know what? Here's the funny thing. Okay, I'm gonna give you some racial humor here.
Oh gosh.
No, it's because I had my husband come up here, and so we were here Tuesday night. And we did, because we had to split the thing into two separate groups, right? So the first night, half of them came. Then tonight, the other half will do it. And he was like, "Yeah, so you got to go to karaoke." I'm like, "Yeah, but you know what? It's all black karaoke, so I know all the songs. I don't have to listen to them damn country ass songs I ain't never heard
Oh,
before. I can't stand it. I can't, you know, whatever."
really?
So, oh, absolutely, really. You think if I go to a little further north of here to whatever county the hell that is in Georgia, if I'm
What?
playing hip hop
For
music, they gonna
Forsyth?
know it? No.
Go to Forsyth County. That'd be
I'm
great.
gonna go to Forsyth County and do this? No. But it was just fun. We laughed, because he thought that was funny. But of
All right.
course, maybe everybody doesn't know my husband's white, so there you go.
Right.
So we were doing
Well,
that together.
y'all
But
enjoy
anyway,
the Negro karaoke, and
that is not funny. You almost made me spit out on my computer here.
I hope somebody is taking recording that so we can all enjoy.
Oh,
that.
bro. Oh, man. Anyway,
All
what's the
right, and
song? What's the oh song? Oh. What's that song? I
I
love you. Really? Oh my God. Okay, you have lost.
song.
Yeah,
I don't know that one.
come on, man. You are
Sounds
losing your
like
black
somebody just.
card.
Maybe if I hear it,
Yeah, maybe
'cause
if I wasn't singing it.
yeah, because
But
you sound like
anyway,
a dog that just
shut
got
up.
hit.
I'm getting ready to go
All
down
right.
and hit it.
All right. Well, are you around next week?
I think so.
All right.
Yay.
Well,
More from the source.
what's that?
More from the source, bro.
Oh, who's that? Me?
Bro. You can have good lighting. I've got good source.
Oh, all right. Well, in the meantime, yeah, we got to find out our buddy Ramon. Are we able to announce anything yet? I mean, can
I
we
know
point
we
people
got to
to
figure, man, what's up with that?
that?
What's up
Ramon, if
with
you're
that?
out there, got to let us know what is up. And in the
Reach out.
meantime,
We're ready, bro. We're ready.
yeah, for our close-ups. Anyway,
All
all
right.
right. Well, we will see you next week, and I guess there's nothing left to do but this. Ooh,
Peace, brothers.
we out. I think if I can only get my computer to do something.
Your
here.
computer is garbage. Absolutely.
I think I know what I finally figured out what was going on, but we'll tell you next week.